she nearly killed me. That's right, my mom, bless her heart. She loved me, and she loved me so much she almost loved me to death. You see, when I was growing up, my mom was a very protective woman, like most mothers always are. But my mom was very, very protective of her little baby, the one that she had had at the age of 40 years of age. And so going to school, as most kids always experience, there's always a run of something going through the school, whether it's the measles, whether it's the chicken pox, whatever it is. And of course, parents, even today, probably do the same thing that they did back then. And parents would call my parents and let them know that, hey, their son had chicken pox, and if they wanted to, they could bring me over so that I could get exposed and then get the chicken pox. Well, my mom, she would never hear of that. That was just not her style. Now, fast forward, and I am 36, nearly 37 years of age, and I contract a case of the chicken pox from shaking the hand of a woman who had the shingles in church, of all things. And a few days later, I came down with what my doctor considered to be one of the worst cases of chicken pox he'd ever seen. In fact, he said that he was seriously considering putting me into the hospital as a result. The thing is that my mother loved me a lot, and I loved my mother, and I appreciated her trying to take care of me. But her overprotection nearly killed me. At least it felt that way when I was going through the chicken pox at the time. Now, just recently, I thought I had caught a case of the flu, and I was feeling under the weather for a few days, and then all of a sudden the tips of my fingers started to hurt really bad, and the bottoms of my feet began to burn. And I realized, looking down at my hands, that I had all of these bumps, and the doctor diagnosed me as having a case of hand and mouth and foot virus. Again, something that typically children get and adults don't. Doesn't mean that adults can't, because obviously I got it. But I thought, what is this teaching me? Is there anything here that I can take away from this? And I thought, my experience as a financial advisor is that oftentimes I have to deal with individuals who have absolutely no sense of governor, and they've got 100% of their money stuck in the stock market. And we know that having all your eggs in one basket isn't good. And we know that as you age, you should naturally become more conservative. But there's always those few that are overly protective of their money, and they have all of their money stuck in CDs, or they have it stuck in cash in the bank. And the problem with that is that you're going to be losing to inflation. Consider the fact that from 1900 to 2000, there was realistically about 2,000% inflation. And the problem with that is that we can look in the obit section of our newspaper, and we can find people who have lived 100. They actually lived through that. Can you imagine seeing the cost of living go up like that? And so you need to be able to diversify with your money, and you need to use that moderation in all things quip and mode of operation. Making certain that you don't have all of your money aggressive, you don't have all of your money sitting in the bank all cozy and making you feel warm and fuzzy because it's all there and it's safe, but it's losing to inflation. You need to have your money in different buckets doing different things, and yes, it is okay to have some risk. It is also okay to make certain that you're utilizing every opportunity to use your working capital to make money. And what I mean by that is this. Typically on the conservative end of the scale, you're going to be making interest, and those things are going to be insured, and so you're not going to make a lot of interest. On the flip side of the coin, you know that there's risk and there's a lot of volatility that can come from having your money in stocks. But when you buy a stock, you're buying it and then you're crossing your fingers and toes hoping it goes up. I encourage you to educate yourself on the bucket that's in the middle, and that is the universe of conservative income generating investments. That's where you can be investing some of your principal, and you can be earning that, say, 5 to even 7% interest and dividends on your money. And yes, it is possible. Yes, I do it every single day. And so with that, I hope to encourage you, do not be overly protective with your money. I know that it feels as though you're doing the right thing, but in reality, in the grand scheme of things, if you live long enough, you run the greater potential of running completely out of money, and that's good for no one. Well, there's your tip for retirement success. I'm Matthew Johnson, President and owner of Johnson Wealth and Income Management. Make it a great day.